Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!
Hey everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and today's Wellness Wednesday is all about how to cope with loneliness during the holidays and some dysfunctional family members. So as you guys can see, I am rocking my love sweatshirt. I'm going to be rocking it all the time, so get used to it. But also grab your own over on candywashington.com. As you come in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share with a friend. So yeah, let's get into it. So I came across this post the other day, and it was like signs of deep loneliness. And the first one was oversharing when there's someone to listen. So that means maybe it's a stranger, maybe it's a doctor, maybe it's I don't know, just a person you don't really know, but they're sort of captive. And you overshare just because you actually have someone to like actually talk to. This could also happen on social media. Like, do you see those people who like overshare on their posts and it's like this weird, just too much overshare? That's a sign of loneliness. The second was feeling like the disposable person in the group. So this means you feel like maybe people don't really want you there. Maybe you're not really connected with the people. And these people could be your family. These people could be your friends. You know, you're just feeling disconnected. You're feeling disposable. You don't feel of value. You don't feel seen or heard. The third is putting people's needs before your own. The fourth is feeling the need to be overly helpful or nice. The fifth is feeling isolated and like no one really sees you. I think this is a big one because I think sometimes when we talk about loneliness, we think of it as you have to be alone or by yourself. But to me, I think of loneliness as you feel disconnected. You feel disconnected from other people, and you also feel disconnected from yourself because you can be alone but not feel lonely. You could still feel fulfilled, interested, connected to self, having a good time, and just really filling your own cup back up. Or you could feel lonely, like you're missing out, like you have no one to talk to, like nobody cares, like you're on your own. So that's a big sense of loneliness. And I think that sometimes this happens over the holiday season because there's all of this social pressure, right? There's this pressure to like, oh, I need to post a really cool post on Instagram doing really fun holiday activities or the perfect Friendsgiving or the perfect family Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa dinner or whatever it is. And you kind of get shamed into having to put on this sort of like front during the holidays, right? But what if you don't have that? What if you would have like this like group of friends or this like, you know, functional family where you're doing all these things? You know, what if you're on your own? Or what if you just don't have those things? I think there's a lot of pressure to perform during the holiday season. And I think the kind of the ways we get around that pressure to perform during the holiday season is one, empower yourself to redefine what the holidays mean to you. You know, for some people, it's spending it with family. If you don't have the family or your family isn't healthy and they're dysfunctional, redefine it. Maybe that means the holidays is spent with friends. Maybe the holiday is spent reconnecting with yourself, right? Redefine what the holidays mean to you. You don't have to have this picture perfect Hallmark, you know, post for the world to see in order to validate yourself during the holidays. You get to redefine it. Maybe that means taking a break from social media or muting the accounts that are triggering you, because there is a lot of society and social pressure to have this image of friends and family and all this stuff over the holidays that I think makes the holidays such a depressing time for people. You know, there's the crime rate is up, you know, during the holidays. The S word, you know, people taking their own lives is up over the holidays because there's all of this pressure to perform and to be perfect. So take the pressure off of yourself, right? And also I would say have a plan. If it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, you know, whatever you celebrate, and it's not this sort of picture perfect, you know, facade that people put up, have a plan on how you're going to spend that day. You know, are you going to cook for yourself and maybe, you know, friends? Are you going to Maybe have an online community that you connect with. Are you going to paint? Are you going to write? Are you going to exercise? Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, even if it's not a holiday, put a plan in place. So that way the holiday doesn't come and you feel, stuck, you feel bored, you feel alone, and all of those things. Empower yourself with a plan. Know how you're going to spend that holiday. Do the things that fulfill you. Do the things that make you happy. Have a movie list that you're going to watch. Have the activities that you're going to go do. Treat yourself. Have a plan in place. Hey, Kamiko. Hey, she says, hey, Candy. Hey, girl, what's up? How are you? Hi, Kamiko. What's up, girl? So have that plan in place of how you're going to spend that holiday, right? To combat that feeling of loneliness. Again, redefine what the holidays mean to you. You don't have to compete with people on Instagram and Facebook with these curated photos of these picture perfect family and friendships, which we all know behind the scenes might look a little bit different. Don't compete with them. Redefine it for yourself. And then have that plan in place. How are you choosing to spend your time that holiday season? Know what you're going to do. Take care of yourself and treat yourself over that time. Now, on the flip, say you do have a dysfunctional family, right? And you're going back home for the holidays, or they're coming to you for the holidays, and you have to be around these people. Create healthy boundaries. If there are topics that set your family members off, hey, at the dinner table, we're not talking about religion, politics, sexuality, X, Y, and Z, or whatever it is, right? Create those boundaries. Certain topics might need to be off limits, right? If certain family members are, maybe heavy drinkers, or they abuse drugs or alcohol, maybe make it very clear you're not allowed to come into the house. If you are on X, Y, and Z, you're not allowed to, be around us if that is happening. Create those boundaries. Maybe it's a verbal thing, verbal trauma. Maybe your mom or your dad speaks really poorly to you or to each other or to your wife or spouse or children. Make sure that those boundaries are in place. You're not going to speak to my child that way. You're not going to speak to me that way. We're going to respect each other. Have those boundaries in place. And then also have an exit strategy or a plan B. If there is dysfunction in your family and people are unable to respect the healthy boundaries that you put in place, have an exit strategy. Be able to leave. Go to a hotel room. Go back to your own home. Get an Uber, wherever you need to go. Make sure that you're making your own peace your first and best priority. Don't think that you have to stay in an unhealthy situation or a dysfunctional situation or a traumatic situation just because it's family. You matter the most. Your well-being, your happiness, who you are is the most important thing. And if people, family, friends, or whatever, cannot respect those boundaries, then have an exit plan in place and honor that exit plan. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Kaniko says, I'm on my journey getting back on track to me. Yes, getting back to self, getting centered on self. Absolutely. Hey, Eva, she says, hey, Candy, I'm loving this topic. I needed this. Yes, you are so welcome. You are so welcome. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'll drop the drop-in link too if anybody wants to come up. I don't know. If you want to come up, come on up. Okay, so I'm dropping the call-in link as well in case anybody wants to call in. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, and ask any questions you have. If you have any questions about it or anything you want to talk about. But I think another way to combat loneliness in the holidays and also just in general is, again, I think what Kamiko was saying is a big part of it. Try to reconnect back to yourself. Figure out what makes you happy, what fills you up. Journal, walk in nature, take care of your body, and then also seek support. Talk to a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, or whatever who can get you back on track, back to you, and then seek support in other ways, whether it's in real life community, if it's a shared, if you like to, I don't know, do pottery, take a pottery class. If you like to draw, take a drawing class. If you always wanted to learn how to skydive, take that class, whatever it is. Get active and create community. If you're not able to do it in real life, virtual, there are meetup groups, there are Zoom parties, there's Facebook groups. Reach out and connect to people, usually around a shared interest or a common goal, right? So reach out, do your research, find those groups, find those communities, and then actively try and participate with them in order to create that community and that support system. Again, sometimes the friends we have aren't enough, and then sometimes we have family that is dysfunctional. And it is okay to create new friendships, and it's okay to create new communities, and it's okay to create new support systems. I actually just got done doing an interview for the Year of You retreat, and I was talking about breaking generational curses, right? That is the essence of dysfunctional families. And I think during the holidays, when everyone's together, they bring their trauma, they bring their wounding, they bring their dysfunction all at once, and it all boils over because everybody's in the same place at the same time. And the reason why it keeps getting passed on is because nobody stopped to heal it, look at it, address it, become aware of it, and then choose differently. That's why we're having the same fights over and over again. That's why we're talking about what happened 20 years ago. So we're talking about what happened to, great Uncle Bob and, great granddaddy Joe and great grandmama Maybelline or whatever it is, right? There's talking about all these past things because they didn't take the time to be mindful and be curious about the belief. They didn't take the time to heal the trauma. They didn't take the time to grieve the loss. So we can't control the work that other people do in their lives, but we can control the work that we do in our own lives. So working on ourselves to heal, working on ourselves to grow, working on our own self-esteem, self-worth, creating our own healthy boundaries is the way to break those curses. Let it stop with you. Because when you change, the relationships you have with other people have no choice but to change. So you want to bring that self to the holiday season. The self that is on the path to healing, the self that is able to say no, the self that is able to say, you're not allowed to treat me this way, you're not allowed to speak to me this way, you're not allowed to do this to me. That self. And you're bringing the self that is empowered to remove yourself from a situation. You don't have to stay in the dysfunction. If somebody dropped you in a big pot of poison, would you stay in that pot of poison, or would you fight to get out of that pot of poison? So if you find yourself in a dysfunctional, traumatic, unhealthy situation, I don't care who's it with, family, friends, whatever, get out of that dysfunction, take yourself out of the poisonous pot. You can do it. You are an adult. You can do it. You can remove yourself from that situation. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, I journal daily and read affirmations and repeat them to myself all day. I think that's great. I think that's a great way to do it. I think journaling is a great way to connect back to yourself. Creating those affirmations is a great way to connect back to yourself. Meditation, prayer, being creative, drawing, connecting. I think I already said it, but like connecting back to nature. And then, yeah, I think those are all really great things. Seeking support, talking to someone. Those are all great things to reconnect back to yourself. Treating yourself. I'm also a huge fan of dating yourself. Take yourself out to a restaurant, take yourself out to a fancy hotel, or, just connecting back to you, doing little things that bring you joy every day, buying yourself some flowers, writing yourself a love letter. What do I want to watch on TV? What do I want to eat for dinner? What do I want to do in my spare time? Because a lot of times, so many of that stuff is dictated by other people. It's either dictated by your spouse or your significant other, your children, your parents, whatever it is. I was talking to one person and I said, well, why don't you try, because she was feeling disconnected as well. I was like, well, why don't you try dating yourself? Like, what would you have for dinner? And she's like, you know what? I haven't decided what I wanted to eat since I had kids. The dinners were for the kids, or I haven't decided, where we wanted to do X, Y, and Z. Like my husband always decides it, or, my mom always makes the decision, or we always default to my sister, or whatever it is. Get back to you, date yourself. What do you want to do with your time? What do you want to experience in this world? Create that space for you and create that space to get to know you. It might sound weird, but a lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people aren't curious about getting to know themselves, right? But that to me is really the joy and essence and the yumminess of life, is getting to know yourself. Who am I authentically? What are my likes? What are my dislikes? And then having that authentic power to speak your truth. Yes, I like that. No, I don't like that. Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't. And showing up fully as your authentic self. But you cannot show up as yourself if you don't know yourself. And when you know yourself, that's when you can love yourself, accept yourself, validate yourself, forgive yourself. But it's getting back to who you are. And when we feel disconnected, it's really we are abandoning ourselves in order to please other people. And that's when we feel the loneliest, because we're not connected to self and we're actually not connected to others, because that's a conditional transaction and there's no connectivity there. Hey, Kamiko. She goes, oh, yes, I meditate and visualize. I love meditating and I love visualizing too. It's such a great way. But I'm happy you actually brought that up, because there's another technique called visioning. I know we're getting a little off of dysfunctional families and loneliness, but why not? Let's rock this out. We're going to do it. There's another technique called visioning. And I'm going to tell you how it's different from meditating and visualizing. And let me know what you think about it. And this is a technique from, I think it's either Neville Goddard or Florence Scovel Sheen. One of the two. They're these two, spiritual thought leaders. But it's one of their two techniques. But it's called visioning. So as we all know, meditating is when you sort of like, get really silent and you just kind of want to, be with your thoughts and all of that stuff, right? So that's like the meditation part. And then visualizing is when you use your imagination to create a vision of your life that you want to manifest. So visualizing is you using your imagination to create that image, create that scene, create that moment of what you want to manifest, what you want to bring to fruition into your world. For example, you could visualize your dream house, your dream relationship, your dream weight, your dream car, your dream job, whatever it is, right? But you are using your imagination to create that vision for yourself. Visioning is similar but different. Visioning is when you get quiet and you get silent and you ask, whatever you believe in, whether it's God, higher power, universe, source, wisdom, whatever language, whatever resonates with you, you're asking that higher energy, right? To show you, to give you a download of whatever question you have, or like the right next step. It's asking for that guidance, right? So visioning is getting really quiet and asking the question of, well, how do I create the career that I love? How do I, get the house of my dreams? How do I get X, Y, and Z, or whatever it is? And you're asking for divine guidance on it. So visualization is when you use your imagination to create the vision. Visioning is when you're asking something greater than yourself to give the vision to you, to show you the way. And that could come during the meditation. It could come to you a couple days later, and it could come in different forms. It might be a couple of words you hear. It might be a scene you see. It might be, something that you stumble upon and you're like, huh. But visioning is when you're asking for the vision to come to you for your next right step in what you want. And visualization is when you are creating the image that you want for yourself. And I think all three are such powerful tools. All four actually: meditation, prayer, visualizing, and visioning. I think they're all very, very powerful tools. Hey, it'd be me, you heard? Did I say that right? Hey, it'd be me, you heard? Like a vision board. Yes. So a vision board is more like visualizing. Because a vision board is you're deciding the objects, the words, the images, the pictures that resonate with you that you then want to manifest in your life. But visioning is when you're asking for that divine guidance. You're asking for the picture to come to you, the words to come to you, the phrase to come to you, the sign to come to you. So you're not creating it in your imagination, you're receiving it. So visualizing is what you create, visioning is what you receive. Hey Kamiko, I'm currently trying to do my first vision board ever. Visioning. Yeah. So again, vision board, right? Vision board is a form of visualizing because you are choosing the images, the words, the phrases to put on your vision board. Visioning is when you ask for a vision from a higher source. So visualizing, vision board is what you are creating. Visioning is what you're receiving. Like, show me the way to a healthy relationship. Show me the way to, financial freedom. Show me the way to my new car. Show me the way to my new house. Show me the way to my healing. Show me the way to whatever it is. Visioning is asking to receive a vision from a higher awareness, energy, God, whatever you want to put on it, right? Visualizing, vision boards, is when you create it from your imagination. You're choosing what you see. Hey, All Things Popcorn. She says, hello. Hey, sweetheart. What is up? Yeah. So let's see. Do you guys have any more questions? Hey, Kamiko. She says, I will add visioning to my clarity routine. Yes, that is a really great point. I think visioning is a great way to get clarity. Like when you feel confused or stuck or not sure your next right move, I think visioning is a great way to do that. I also love to do like a stream of consciousness writing as well, where it's just like work through me. Like I'm not writing it, I'm just letting the inspiration flow. I'm just letting it come, and I'll write down the question that I have, breathe in for a couple minutes, and then just let it flow, let it write. Because the truth is, it's all coming from our own intuition. At our core, we know what is best for us. We know what is right for us. But these tools, it's exactly what you said, Kimiko. These tools just give us the clarity to hear it and to see it. And then when we work on ourselves, then we have the confidence to act on it. Because we can get inspired visions, we can get clarity. But if we don't have our own self-belief in ourselves, if we don't have the esteem, if we don't love ourselves, if we're not confident, then we don't have the power to act on it. So these tools help us to get clear on what we need to do. And the work that we do on our self-confidence and self-esteem gives us the power in order to do it. So they work together. They work in tandem. You get the clarity on what you're supposed to be doing. And then you have the confidence in order to do it. So I love that. Hey, you guys. Do you guys have any other questions or anything else you want to bring up or anything else you want to talk about? What's going on? I'll share with you my holiday plan. So I'm actually, I'm going back home for 3 weeks. It's going to be a long time. I'm going to go back. I'm going to visit my mother and my sisters and my nieces. And I'm really, really excited for that. And yeah, I mean, at this point, it's pretty good that we don't have a lot of trauma or beef or anything like that, because I think we've all kind of worked on stuff and we have good boundaries and things like that. So I'm excited to go back home, but I know that a lot of people have dysfunctional families. A lot of people have trauma and loneliness. So I wanted to just share that if that's what you're experiencing, you are not alone. There are so many people who don't have healthy families. There are so many people who feel alone during this time and loneliness. So if that is how you feel, if that's the situation that you're in, Take peace and some solace in knowing that you are not alone. Reach out to people, create community, reconnect to yourself. And I go back to, I think the biggest thing I said today was have a plan. If you are going home or people coming to you that are dysfunctional and healthy, have a plan to create boundaries, and also have a plan if those boundaries are not being respected to leave. You are allowed to leave. Bring your own vehicle, do whatever you have to do, but you do not have to stay in any unhealthy or dysfunctional situation. And then if you are alone, have a plan for that day. What books are you going to read? What movies are you going to watch? What are you going to do to fill yourself back up that day? Find online communities, find in real life communities as well, but have a plan. Hey, Kamiko, she goes, then we take actual steps to make it happen. That's right. So you get the clarity, you get the clear vision, whether it's through visualization or whether it's through visioning, you get the clarity and the vision of what your next right step is. And then through self-confidence, self-esteem, exactly, you then take the actionable steps to make it happen. They say faith without works is dead, right? It's the same thing. If you have the faith, if you have the vision for what you want in your life, but if you don't work towards it, if you don't take those steps, then it's not going to work out. Hey, Jessica T, please. She goes, hi, Candy Washington. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Yeah. So those were my main points for this today. But again, if you guys have any questions, hey, Young Rich Skinny. Hey, Young Rich Skinny. So Young Rich and anybody else watching, do you have any more questions around being lonely around the holidays, creating a vision for your life, dealing with dysfunctional families? Put it in the chat box. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have right now. I went over my main points. And what are you guys doing for the holidays? Let me know. What are you doing? And yeah, how are you spending it? Let me know. No, nothing, Rashai. Okay, then. Well, I hope that this has given you some tools and some inspiration for how to deal with your own loneliness and how to deal with any dysfunctional family dynamics over the holiday season. So I'm wishing everybody a very happy, a very safe, a very blessed holiday season. And I will just reiterate, be mindful of your own well-being. How are you feeling? How are you doing? And prioritize that. Create those healthy boundaries. Have a plan in place. Work on yourself and reconnect with yourself. Hey, Young Rich. Thankfully, I have a big family. It doesn't seem sad when I hear someone don't have people. And it does seem sad when I hear some don't have people to spend it with. Yeah. But I think that kind of goes into what we were saying before, where it doesn't have to be sad. We are in a position to redefine what the holidays mean to us. There are some people with big families that are dysfunctional and it's horrible. There are some people who spend the holidays by themselves and they are happy and content. I think it's about whatever situation you find yourself in, whether you're in that big family or whether you are on your own. Empower yourself to redefine what the holidays mean to you. Be mindful of your own well-being, your own mental health and emotional state, and create a plan to take care of yourself. If you are alone, take a plan to take care of yourself. If you're with family and friends, also have a plan to take care of yourself. So I think regardless of what you're in, what situation you're in, take care of yourself first. Yes. And I'm happy that you have a big family, Young Rich. I'm sure that you guys be cutting up. Yay, Kamiko. She says, bye, Candy and the Candy Kins. Bye, sweetheart. Yay. So yes, that is it, you guys. Have a very safe and happy holiday season. As always, on Mondays, we'll be doing our Messy Mondays at 5 o'clock p.m. on the West Coast, 8 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. And then on Tuesdays, we do our Ladies Lounge, and we rotate between our 3 channels. And then on Wednesdays, of course, we'll be doing our Wellness Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. And every day we'll be dropping some sugar pill self-care sessions. Don't forget to shop the Love collection. I'm wearing our Love sweatshirt. We have sweatshirts, we have candles, we have mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, all of it. So head over to candywashington.com and pick yourself up some cool swag, whether it's style or home decor. Join me over on Instagram at Candy Washington. Give me a follow and a DM, and I will be sure to hit you back up. And until next time, be well, take care of yourself and each other, and be safe and happy over this holiday season, however you choose to enjoy it. Mwah. Bye. Bye, guys.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!